Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. Today we are going to start with chapter 14, measurement and effects of heat. First we will discuss the can you recall questions. Which sources do we get heat from? Okay, we get heat from sun, we get heat from electric iron, from gas stoves, electric heaters, etc. You are familiar with these? How is heat transferred? Heat is transferred in solids by the process called as conduction, in liquids by the process called as convection, and in gases it is dissipated, it is transferred in the form of radiation. So you have learned about conduction, convection and radiation. Which effects of heat do you know? You are familiar with different effects of heat. For example, during the time of chemical reactions, heat is absorbed or heat is released. Change in physical state. Okay, so ice absorb heat and get converted into water, and expansion of objects, chemical reactions, these are all different effects of heat which we have studied. Now what is heat? Heat is a form of energy. Heat is a form of energy which flow from an object at high temperature to an object at low temperature. This you know that the temperature always flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. But in physics there is a difference between heat and temperature. Heat is due to temperature. When the heat amount increases, we tell that the temperature is increased. We will discuss about the difference between heat and temperature later. What is temperature? Temperature tells us how cold or hot an object is. Okay. Now the SI unit of heat is joule and the CGS unit of heat is calorie. The relation between calorie and joule is 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joules. This is the definition of 1 calorie. You may mark it in your textbook. 1 calorie heat is the heat required to increase the temperature of 1 gram of water through 1 degree Celsius. So they specified that it is water. Okay, the temperature, the heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water through 1 degree Celsius, that is said to be 1 calorie. The equation to find out heat absorbed or heat released is Q is equal to M into C into change in temperature, that is higher temperature minus lower temperature. Q means heat absorbed or heat released, M is mass of the object, C is specific heat of the object, and delta T means change in temperature, higher temperature minus lower temperature. There are two numericals given, solved examples. We will discuss the first one. How much heat will be needed to raise the temperature of 1.5 kg of water from 15 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius? Okay, they have given the mass of water as 1.5 kg. It has been converted into 1500 gram. Change in temperature is 45 minus 15, that is 30 degrees Celsius. And so here it is the heat required to raise the temperature from 15 to 45. Heat required is equal to mass of water into change in temperature. Okay, mass of water into change in temperature. Here as it is the specific heat of water, it is 1500 into 30 calorie, that is 45,000 calorie. That is in CGS units. What about SI unit? You have to multiply it with 4.18 because 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joules. So by multiplying you are getting it as 1,88,100 joules. Okay. Next is, if the temperature of water changes by 10 degrees Celsius, so change in temperature is 10 degrees Celsius, on giving 300 calories of heat. Heat given is 300 calories, that means Q is 300 calories. What is the mass of water? Okay, again by the equation, amount of heat given is 300 calorie, change in temperature is 10 degrees Celsius, mass you have to find out. So with the equation Q is equal to mCT, here C is equal to 1 because specific heat of water is 1. Okay, so here they have taken the equation as mass into change in temperature because it is water. Okay, but the actual equation is Q is equal to M into C into delta T. Okay, so amount of heat given is equal to mass of water into change in temperature. So from that mass of water they have got it as 30 grams. These two examples are important and it is asked in your exams. Next is sources of heat. There are different known sources of heat to us. It is sun, earth, chemical energy, electrical energy, atomic energy and air. We know about sun. Inside the sun, chemical reactions, that is fusion of two hydrogen atoms, take place to form one helium. During this process, large amount of heat is liberated. Some part of it reaches us. Next is earth. Inside the earth, beneath the earth, there are several chemical reactions. It is hot inside, energy is liberated. Heat is formed inside the surface of the earth. Okay, beneath the surface of the earth. That energy, it is called as geothermal energy. Next is chemical energy. Chemical energy is due to the different chemical reactions which are taking place. For example, when a fuel is burned, combustion of fuel, heat is liberated. It is a type of chemical reaction. So, chemical energy can also produce heat. Next is electrical energy. We know that electrical energy converted into heat energy. You are familiar with electrical oven, electrical heater. Okay, these all convert electrical energy into heat energy. Next is about atomic energy. Inside the nucleus, the atomic energy could be the atomic energy is present. With the help of that atomic energy, we can produce heat energy also. Next is air. In air, there are different types of gases. You know that there are different types of gases in the air and a large amount of heat is trapped in the air due to presence of carbon dioxide. Okay, so these are the different sources of heat. Now we will discuss about the activity which is given on page number 96. There are three jars. You have to take three similar vessels. Let us call them A, B and C. In vessel A, you have to take hot water. In vessel B, you have to take cold water. And in vessel C, you have to mix hot water and cold water. What you have to do, you have to dip your right hand into vessel A and left hand into vessel B. You can feel, what we will feel, you will feel your right hand hot and your left hand cold. Okay. Now what you have to do, you have to take out your hand from those vessels and put both your hands in vessel C. What will happen? The hand which was put in vessel A, that is your right hand, it will feel cold. Okay, because the temperature of water in vessel C is less than that of temperature of water in vessel A. And in case of vessel B, okay, the temperature of water in vessel B is less than that of water in vessel C. So your right hand will feel cold and your left hand will feel hot. Why so? Because the heat flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. Okay, so when you have put your right hand in vessel C, your hand is already hot. So the temperature will flow from higher temperature to lower temperature. So you will feel your hand cold. But the hand which you had put in vessel B, it was already cold. Okay, and when you put it in C, then the temperature from C, it will move on to your hand. So you may feel a little warm. Okay, not hot but a little warm. That means the temperature flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. Now, thermometer is a device for measuring temperature. You know about thermometer. Now, can you recall question? What are potential and kinetic energies? You have studied about potential and kinetic energy. Potential energy is the energy due to the position or configuration or shape of an object, and kinetic energy is the energy due to motion of an object. Okay, so that is potential energy and kinetic energy. Now we will study the difference between heat and temperature. Heat, you know about a particular substance. For example, there is a solid substance. In that solid, the solid is made up of several number of atoms. Consider there is a solid with number of atoms is equal to 10. Okay, number of atoms is equal to 10. So total, what is heat? It is the total kinetic energy of the atoms in the substance. Now kinetic energy, all the atoms which are present in that solid, they are having a vibrational motion. They are having a vibrational oscillatory motion. Okay, but when you heat a substance, those atoms possess more amount of kinetic energy and they start vibrating more. Okay, you cannot see it, we cannot see it with our naked eyes. Okay, but the atoms inside are in a vibrational motion, and when you heat a substance, that vibrational motion increases. That means it starts possessing kinetic energy. So the total kinetic energy of the atoms in the substance, if there are 10 atoms, the addition of all those 10 atoms, okay, that will be heat. And what is temperature? It is the average kinetic energy. Average kinetic energy means it will be less compared to that of heat. Okay, that means if one atom is possessing more kinetic energy and one atom is possessing less kinetic energy, there won't be much difference of 5 calories or so. Okay, but there is a little difference in temperature, difference in values, difference in energy. So when you calculate the average, the value will be a little less comparatively. So the average kinetic energy of the atoms in the substance, this is the main difference between heat and temperature. Heat is the total kinetic energy of the atoms in the substance, and temperature is the average kinetic energy of the atoms in the substance. Heat depends on the number of atoms present in it. So more the number of atoms, more will be the amount of heat. Temperature does not depend on the number of atoms because it is an average value. Okay, you are taking the average, so the temperature does not depend on the number of atoms. It is measured using calorimeter. This is measured using thermometer. The unit of heat is SI unit is equal to joule. CGS unit is calorie. 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joules. Here the unit is degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit or degree Kelvin. This you may write in your notebook. It is a very important question. Distinguish between heat and temperature. So you might have understood what is the main difference between heat and temperature. So whether it is a solid, a liquid or a gas, when you heat a substance, the molecule possess more and more amount of energy. Okay, the molecule possess more amount of energy, heat energy. That means when you are heating a substance, its kinetic energy increases, means the heat increases. Heat increases means the temperature also increases. But what is the difference in between heat and temperature? Heat is the total value and temperature is the average value. So you may see in the textbook, page number 96, last paragraph, last statement. Figure 14.3, motion of atoms in gas and solid. So in figure A and B, okay, in hot gas, the movement, the velocity of atoms is more compared to that of the cooler gas, because when you heat, they possess kinetic energy. The velocity of atoms in the gas at higher temperature is larger than the velocity of gas at the lower temperature. Now you may move on to page number 97. In case of solids, there is a diagram given, figure 14.3c. That is in case of solids. The movement of the atom is oscillatory, that is vibrational. Because of heat, they oscillate around their fixed position. Higher the temperature of the solid, faster is the velocity of oscillation. Okay, so if you heat it, their velocity of oscillation will increase. Suppose A and B are two objects made of the same substance. The mass of A is twice the mass of B. That means the number of atoms in A is twice that of B. So what about heat? The heat in A will be greater than heat in B. The temperatures could be the same. The temperatures in both A and B could be the same, but the heat of A will be double that of B because the number of atoms in A is more than, that is double than that of B. That they have explained in that paragraph. Now the next, try this question. Take two steel vessels A and B of the same size. Fill some water in A and double that amount in B. You are taking some amount of water, for example 100 ml in A and 200 ml in B. Make sure that the water in both the vessels are at the same temperature. Consider the temperature of water in both the vessels is 40 degrees Celsius. Raise the temperature of the water in both the vessels by 10 degrees Celsius. Okay, you have to increase the temperature from 40 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius using a spirit lamp. Did it take the same time to increase the temperature in two vessels? No. Okay, the time taken in A will be less compared to that of in B. Why? Because in B it is containing double the amount of water. That means the number of atoms in B is more compared to that of in A. So it will take more time. You must have required more time to raise the temperature of water in B. This means that for the same increase in temperature, that means the temperature increase in both the cases was 10 degrees Celsius. You had to give more amount of heat to B. Thus, even though the water in A and B have the same temperature, the amount of heat in B is more than that in A. Okay, you might underline this. This question could be asked. They will give you the experiment and ask the question, a 2-mark question. Now, the relation between degree Fahrenheit and Celsius. What are the units of temperature? It is degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit and degree Kelvin. Now in your syllabus you have the relation between degree Fahrenheit and degree Celsius. This equation you have to learn. F minus 32 upon 9 is equal to C upon 5, where F stands for Fahrenheit, the value of Fahrenheit unit, and C stands for Celsius unit. The relation between degree Kelvin and degree Celsius. K is equal to C plus 273.15 degree Kelvin. Okay, sorry, 273.15. This relation you have to learn. Now with the help of these equations, we can convert Fahrenheit into Celsius or Celsius to Fahrenheit, and K to Celsius or Celsius to Kelvin. You are having those questions. We will discuss it next. Now the first solved example on page number 97. How much will be the temperature of 68 degree Fahrenheit B in Celsius and Kelvin? So you have to convert 68 degree Fahrenheit into Celsius, degree Celsius and degree Kelvin. So we will take the formula 1 first. F minus 32 upon 9 is equal to C upon 5. That is the relation. Instead of F, I have written 68. That has been given. So by substituting and finding out the value, we will get C is equal to 20 degrees Celsius. That means 68 degree Fahrenheit is equal to 20 degrees Celsius. So whenever it has been written somewhere that the temperature is 68 degree Fahrenheit, that means it is 20 degree Celsius. And you have to convert it into Kelvin also. The relation is K is equal to C plus 273.15. Substituting C as 20, you will get it as 293.15. That means 20 degrees Celsius means how many in Kelvin? It is 293.15 degree Kelvin. Okay. Now the next question on page number 98. At what temperature will its value be same in Celsius and in Fahrenheit? So here we saw that 68 degree Fahrenheit is equal to 20 degree Celsius. Are the values the same? No. On one side it is 68, on other side it is 20. Okay. Now the question is, at what degree Celsius and what degree Fahrenheit both the values will be the same? The temperature, the value, the numbers will be the same. So here the condition given is F is equal to C. Okay, they have asked in the question that F should be equal to C. So F is equal to C means in this equation instead of F I have written C. Instead of C I can write F also, no problem. So instead of F I have written C. So the equation becomes C minus 32 upon 9 is equal to C upon 5. Cross multiplying, 5 into C minus 32 is equal to 9C. So 5C, opening the brackets, 5C minus 160 is equal to 9C, or 160 minus 160 is equal to 9C minus 5C. I took this 5C towards right. Minus 160 is equal to 4C. That means C is equal to minus 40. So we know that F is equal to C. That means F also will be minus 40, C also will be minus 40. So when the temperature of a substance is minus 40 degree Fahrenheit means what will be the temperature in degree Celsius? It will be minus 40 degree Celsius. Okay, it is possible only at minus 40, not at any other numbers. Okay, so this is about the difference between temperature and heat. You may go through the chapter. If you are having any doubt, you may ask. Thank you.